Go to our man Paul in Henderson, Nevada. What's going on, brother?
Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
Doing great, man. So,
morning, Paul.
Were you up all weekend long
Morning.
trading cryptos?
You know what? Man, I've been just watching and waiting. And
That's good. That's good.
Were...
That's good to hear. You and your girlfriend get that
And-
health business going. Forget cryptos until there's a total washout.
Patience is key in a lot of things in life, totally.
And you know what? You know what, Tom? Who needs cryptos when we got cannabis stocks? I mean, geez.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
That's so true. That's crazy, man.
I just fired off a trade in Tilray. I just jumped in here at 84. And we'll see what happens. But, Tom, I wanted to talk to you about Ethereum. We have been talking for several months about that 90% possible correction from the high.
Yes.
And I was hoping that Tommy perhaps could pull up Ethereum on the weekly, on the Crypto Watch.
Yep.
We got it up
have it
perfect,
right in
and we
front
got
of
it
us.
on a weekly. How about it, man?
Okay, perfect. So, Tom, I'm kind of eyeballing this 120 level. We have been talking about it several times on the show. You know, I had been pretty bearish on Ethereum for a while.
Yep.
We have that high volume. If you go up the GDAX volumes here,
Yeah.
we have that high volume high right there at the that level. And I'm kind of just trying to get my mind wrapped around how you would interpret this chart.
Yeah, no, listen, we're bringing the chart back for it. I mean, this is pretty amazing. So, did Ethereum actually hit 800, Paul? Yeah, well, it looks like 841.
That's
okay,
only back in May, yeah.
And where we're going with this, folks, is that we had brought this up when this thing was basically going to the moon and then start pulling back. What we done is we brought up the NDX 100 in 2000 when that the crash came inside the NDX 100 stocks. And it's hard to comprehend, though, that some of these large stocks did pull back, folks, 80% off the highs, 90% off those highs. It's like, you got to be kidding me, man.
And what time frame, Paul, are you looking at? Where is that $120 big volume? Is that in December?
Let's see here. Looks like July. This is going back over a year. So July 2017, I believe. That's where that bar is at.
Okay.
You see it? I'm not looking at Tiger TV right now. Sorry,
Yeah, we got you.
We got you. Perfect.
We got it. Yeah. So is that high 120?
Is that there as well? Yeah, that's a big one.
Where,
so
am,
yeah,
I,
July.
where am I looking at the prices? On this?
Right above here.
Okay, good.
So on a weekly, Paul, is that showing a low of 130.26? Would that be in July of 2017?
Yeah, right there.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm seeing volume there. Of a big spike. Yeah.
So and then the high of that is 249. Yeah, I'd wait. What happens is this: you're into that bar already by $50, and you get into a bar by $50. Your probability is pretty good. You're going to go to the bottom of the bar. Yeah. So yeah, I'd sit there and wait, man.
I mean, quite a pullback. So we were looking at 800, right? But man, we pulled this back. We were up at 1400. This is
yes,
we're up at 1400 at the beginning of the year.
On that, I mean, we're approaching the 90%.
Holy cow!
Relatively soon. I mean, we got some time to go, but once it broke 200, under 200 on Friday, I said, man, there's some serious destruction going on here. In a major way.
We were just Googling it, Paul, Ethereum during the break because we knew you were coming up, and every article was talking about that, you know, the under 200 level and just how dramatic it was.
That's amazing, man. I mean,
it is.
You know,
to juxtapose things, there's your chart of Tilray for the cannabis stocks, man. Quite a reversal in fortune, seriously. And you know, to keep things in mind is you're trading real stocks. You're trading real stocks with hundreds of millions of dollars coming in the line versus just being aware. And I know you know this, Paul, but that everything's arbitrary in the crypto world. You're at 1,400 1 month, and 9 months later you're at 200, and really. Not much has changed in terms of the dynamics. You know, a lot of people have been selling it, but people are still buying Ethereum. It's still out there, so it's pretty remarkable. 90% haircut.
I'll tell you, man, it's pretty intense. We gotta,
very intense.
What we got to do is when Jason's on, even tomorrow morning, I got to give him a call. We got to have him start hunting how many searches are on Ethereum too.
Oh, I'm sure he's got it. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, if you heard that program this morning, it was pretty cool listening to the. Searches on
Facebook. I was listening
to.
It
Totally,
was cool.
man. You know what I mean? That's
the delete Facebook search is up 10%, and as Jason put it, that's a mammoth number when you're talking about how many people are on Facebook to spike 10%.
Crazy.
And they probably will see that data come in. We'll see what this is,
I just hang tight, Paul. That's the bottom line.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Tom.
I would just hang tight. I mean, it looks like it wants to get there, you know, because it's way too far into the bar. It's $54 into that bar, man, you know, so.
And, if we get outside of that bar, man, Ethereum, whew, $70 where I bought my first one. I think we're going below 100 if we get outside of that bar. And you have some serious competition. I mean, even though EOS is well off the high, EOS right now is processing the most transactions with the fastest speed of any blockchain.
Okay.
So when you compare it for a $5 coin, you know, to something that is in the exact direct competitor versus, you know, the $200 coin-ish for Ethereum.
Yep.
You know, so EOS is taking some of that business as well.
And then let's bring up so the Winklevoss twins are out here doing something this morning too. Let's see what they're doing. So they're launching. Okay, 2 financial technology companies won New York State approval to issue cryptocurrencies pegged to the dollar, creating more regulated and transparent competitors to Tether and so-called other stable coins. So Gemini Trust, which is Winklevoss, received approval from the New York Department of Financial Services to launch Gemini Dollar, according to a statement Monday.
Paxos Trust, a blockchain company that caters to financial institutions, got permission from the same regulator to issue the Paxos standard. So the 2 new coins are going to compete with Tether, and we've talked about Tether. That's the one where they're supposed to be dollar for dollar, but they really are battling to figure out whether there's
anything behind
reserves behind it. Yeah. So they'll compete with Tether, DAI, and other stable coins, that should almost be in quotes, right? Stable coins, designed to track the value of the traditional currency they're linked to. Tether has grown to become one of the biggest cryptos, but it's shrouded in concern it's not actually backed by dollars as its creators claimed.
Can you
ask you this real quick? These guys are basically printing money in a way, right? Because they come out with their coin, it's backed by nothing. They said, "Here, I have 1 billion coins. They're valued at $1."
Yeah.
And there you go.
That's
pretty sweet deal to be Winklevoss twin.
Totally, man. Hey, let me ask you, can you short Tether? Can we just put that back up a sec? Because
not that I know of.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you probably won't get the money anyway. This is going to be a problem for Tether, man, because they're going to be regulated. And it says in this article that Tether refuses to be audited. It's like, why would you trade something that refuses to be audited?
And we'll see how it goes out. So the Paxos CEO, Chad Casarella, said that the U.S. dollars backing Paxos standard will be held in several FDIC-insured banks based in the U.S., and their stablecoin will be reviewed by a large auditing firm. He declined some specifics, but I guess that they saw an opening on the Tether avenue to say, hey, why don't we really swoop in and do what Tether says they're doing and see what we can do?
Because they know it's a good business.
Oh, there's demand, right, for sure.
Stay right there, Paul. We're coming right back.
All right.
Well, folks, we have the Dow up 43, NASDAQ is down 12, S&Ps are up 6.5. So, Paul, inside the cryptocurrency community, right? What's happening on the chat boards and all of that at these prices?
Well, the people that are hodling, they're going down. They're not getting out. I mean, unless they need the bread to, pay for something immediate.
Right.
Other than that, if the ship goes down, they're going down with it.
That's the definition of hold on for dear life, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the way that's shaken out there. But a lot of people are expecting that we will get this. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people. There's a few people that I follow and kind of how I've built this little theory about the 90% correction, similar to the NASDAQ.
Okay.
That are kind of watching this and saying, hey, man, we got to get these other altcoins to get out that are not worth anything, that don't have any type of value.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. Clear the way out and kind of see what's going on for the future run up in the coins, which I think we will get again. I just, who knows how long it will take.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. The thing that's so amazing about it is there are so many coins, right? So it's like the competition is pretty intense. And then what you have is just like these 2 firms this morning that came across with this to me would seem that it has more stability and a better foundation. You know what I mean? That you're going to have an auditor. You're going to have money in the U.S. banks. That's like, okay, you know, is that going to compete with other cryptocurrencies? Now, what wouldn't happen is that I expect that it's like, okay, you know, this is a worldwide deal, and if you're overseas, there's still plenty of people overseas that want to get money out of those countries, that they wouldn't go with that, because then all of a sudden you know where the money is too, right? So there's so many moving pieces, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, man.
Yeah.
We had talked about Shapeshift a while back, and you had brought it up the other day on the air, and I know people in the community were a little concerned because now Shapeshift is requiring a lot more personal information.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be so easy to just turn your coins into some other coin and really be much more anonymous than just regular Bitcoin or Ethereum.
You know, I saw a great episode of Vice News too, and Paul, I'm not sure if you saw this, and what they talked about was, and it had to do with one of the Russia inquiries that came out and how they got the actual people that they thought were involved. And I'm being very general because I forget some specifics, but they had a crypto guy that went on there, and what he went on is that you kind of think you're being anonymous, but what tends to happen is, let's say you go buy a certain amount of Bitcoin.
Right.
You buy like $200 worth of Bitcoin.
Right.
Well, maybe that factors into 0.069432574 Bitcoin. Well, guess what? That's now part of the log that's the crypto chain blockchain.
Right.
Well, guess what? There's not many transactions for 0.069432274 Bitcoin. Well, you can track that Bitcoin, and then you can see those Bitcoin came from this account, and you can actually track, and then you can say, oh, wait, that account has 147 transactions. Well, when somebody has a lot of transactions, oh, that's probably a Coinbase account. Then what you do is you say, oh, it's a Coinbase account. And then the feds can go after to Coinbase and get your name and your information. And so they were just going through how if you really have a lot of information, because they're such exact and because it is on the blockchain, that sometimes you're going to get tracked down. Just something idea, very general, but it was on Vice News, and I really, my head would say, whoa. And that's how they said they got some of these concrete names that you track it over and over and over. And guess what? At some point, your name shows up like somewhere back down the line.
Yeah. I can see that. You know.
So really, if you're trying to do you know, criminal activities, the blockchain is not really where you want to do it, because everything is recorded hundreds, if not thousands of times, and it has to be verified by all the other nodes. So one transaction goes through, it has to be verified before the transaction will get through, and that is recorded all over the place, you know, to verify that transaction. So,
yeah, I wasn't even looking at.
very easily.
No, I'm with you for sure. I wasn't even looking at it really as like a criminal in the context of drugs and guns.
Anonymous. I know
that you know, there's plenty of countries that are in trouble that people just want to get their money out quick.
Right.
You know, if you go over the border, you're not going to get it out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, okay, you know, how you know, why do you even need crypto if you're not going to basically take the place of some Swiss banks? You know, Swiss banks are done, so it's like, okay, something else is going to come up. We're you know, like human beings, you know, so one mousetrap is gone, another mousetrap is coming up. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
I watched not to bring it back, Netflix, the season Ozark I've been telling you about. I don't know if you've seen that show, Ozark.
That's a good show.
It's about money laundering, and part of what they start off with is that they say 2 to 5% of the GDP in the world is laundered every year, as in the money that exists in black. It's a lot of money.
Wow.
And you know that literally those GDP numbers, because guess what? That cash comes from wherever it comes from. And then they have to make it real, and so that those numbers get calculated in GDP. So literally 2 to 5% of the actual reported GDP is laundered money coming into the real system from like some type of nefarious business enterprise.
Hey, look at Miami in the 80s and 90s, man. It built Miami.
Let alone,
all those, if you've never seen all those sky rises down in Miami, folks, let me tell you, it built a lot of them.
Totally.
Oh, my God, unreal. Okay, brother.
The ride continues, so we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks, but it's great talking to you, gentlemen.
You also.
You as well, Paul.
Have a great one, man. Have a safe one.
You too. Bye-bye.